Awesome. Okay.
All
So
right,
if,
I'll leave you be, Eddie. And
yeah,
good to see you. Well, good to see you guys virtually.
yep.
And
Thank you, Eric.
all right,
Thank you.
see ya.
Yep.
Bye.
Great. Okay. Thanks everybody for joining. I am Eddie, and my company is Ironwood Network, as you see, and we create simple network automation products. And here I'm going to show you the product that we have made. And if you are joining us, hopefully you have a little bit background in network administration. Maybe you're a network engineer, maybe you work things related to network. So by that, I mean, if you need to deal with routers, switches, firewall, load balancer, Wi-Fi stuff, I consider you as network guy. So it's like layer 3 and 4 below, so IP, TCP, and below. So if you are that, then we're talking to the right people. So I myself have been working in networking for quite a lot of years. I myself did a lot of networking, design, and management, and got CCIE. And in about 7 or 8 years ago, I get interest in automation, and then I move into building automation solution for company. And eventually, I see there are a lot of need in automation, but not many network engineers have the time to invest to become a programmer, learn all these Ansible, learn all these network automation skills. So created a very, very simple product, knowing what are the most common issues in networking, what keep people awake at night. We created this simple product, and hopefully it will help a lot more people. And I'm going to show you what it is about. So this is called a Network Automation Assistant. That's the name, or NAA. And imagine that you starting your day as a network engineer, and you have the information knowing what has changed in your network when you begin your day, or what has not changed or nothing has changed in the network, knowing everything is stable, nothing has changed. That alone is a very useful information. So there are, like I say, we just want to keep things simple. So we're not trying to do everything under the sun. And so what we see is there are few most common problem to the network. And in fact, with that knowing, there's some solution that we come up with. The first one is we can take backups, meaning to expand it, to be precise in our terms, is taking a network-wide snapshot of the entire network. So when people think about backup, it's just configuration. However, the network-wide snapshots include more than just configuration. It involves anything that you want in your device, like inventory, operational status, like even ARP table, IP routing table, license, serial numbers, like anything that you want to do, you want to show as a snapshot, we can take that. And that becomes very powerful. And then we thought that if we can take backup, why don't we also detect the changes as well, right? If you're taking a backup every day, why don't we also provide changes? And that's the key to knowing what has changed in your network. And then you get a daily email giving you a summary of what was changed, what devices has changed, what magnitude of them has been changed. And you get that in a notification email. So in the morning, like I said earlier, when you wake up, you just check that email and see, oh, what device has changed. And if you like, you can obviously drill into it and see exactly what lines has changed, what configuration has changed, or what license has changed, what operation, which port is up, which port get turned down, as an example. And that's useful, as you can know that you can detect did somebody made changes that is not authorized, or if some problem occur, you can see exactly what's changed and you can remediate the problem very quickly, knowing what has changed in network, right? And then the last feature is the global searches. So one of the key factor is that we include any vendor, not just the vendor, not just the typical vendor like Cisco, Juniper, for example, but we include any future vendor as well. And you can put them all under one single place. And then since we take snapshots of anything you want, we can do a global search on all the vendors and all the devices in just one single place. Imagine you want to find an IP address. Maybe you're decommissioning an IP address, or maybe you want to look for the next available IP address, making sure that is not being configured or being used anywhere in your firewall, router, load balancer, nothing. Then the global search will let you just search everything in one single place. Let's see. And then those are the features. And then, unlike other products out there, why do you want to use NA? Because, like I say, this is simple. There's no scripting required. You don't have to learn Perl programming. You don't have to learn any other. You don't have to spend time in learning other languages. You can just install it and start using NA quickly today. And then also it's free. You know, nothing's better than free. And for people who have a small size network, or even medium sized network, or even large size network, you can just use it for free for up to 50 devices, right? And also is for any vendor, like I mentioned earlier, is not just for today's vendor, but it's also for future vendor, because all that we're using is SSH to the device. So any device that support SSH, then you can use in NAA. So with that said, if you have any question, drop me in the chat, and then I will answer that. And now let me move to the demo. Okay, so NAA homepage look like this. It tells you how many devices you have on the right side, and then it tells you about the device snapshots, and then it also tells you if anything has changed today, and also a little bit of history summary as well. Now, the main feature that I want to show you, like I say, is the snapshot or the backup. So if you look at the snapshot, what it does is, right now I only have 2 devices and focus on the Cisco device. So the snapshot, like I say, take any command that you want to include in the snapshot. So right now I'm taking the show inventory, show version, and also the show running configuration. So right away, if I schedule it once a day, and it will take these commands and then keep it in the snapshot. So right here so you can consider the show run as a backup. And then if you want to see what the configuration look like, is right here for you. So that's the first feature in the snapshot. And then, as I say, it also detect changes. So imagine if you're taking a snapshot every day, then you can see what changed. So in this case, I can look at today's change. I can look yesterday's change. I can look at weekly changes. So in this case, in today, if I click on the information, what has changed, it shows you in red and green, telling you that what has changed. So as an example, somebody have made a change in the description. It wasn't there before, and then it is here now. So in fact, let me do a quick configuration change for you. So let's say I want to change the interface configuration to, let's say, no negotiation auto. And then first, let's say somebody change it in the middle of the day, not telling you, and then you go in NAA. Well, actually, it will run every day or whenever you schedule, but also you can run it ad hoc. So if I want to test any changes, I come here and take a snapshot, and then after it is done, you see on the top, now it has seen the change, and it tells you exactly what was changed. So this was changed. So somebody have made changes in the auto negotiation. So imagine if you include all of if you have 100 devices, thousands of devices, it will display what has changed and exactly what command has changed for you. And you can just come in here, and let's say if this is not supposed to be changed, but so now you can see somebody change it, and you can revert these changes, knowing exactly what command they have issued. So this is changes history. And then the last main feature I want to show you is the search. So with all these changes here, then well, if I want to look for a IP address, so for example, I already did this earlier. So if I want to look for a 10.112 IP address, where is it in my network? If I have thousands of routers, it will be daunting to do it manually. So I can plug in the IP address, and then it will tell me, oh, this is in this device, and then this is exactly highlighted where it is in the configuration. And also for troubleshooting, you can also look for the IP address in the ARP table, in the routing table. Since that is part of the snapshot, you can utilize it as troubleshooting purpose. If some user tell you, hey, this is my IP address, and usually the first thing you will do is to locate it. Where is it in my network? And with the ARP table information or even MAC address information, you can determine where it is located exactly. So in this case, it's on this router and it's on interface gig 2 as an example. That is very powerful. And again, it's not just limited to Cisco or a single vendor. It is for any firewall, load balancer. So the same information will be displayed if they show up in any other type of devices, as long as you include that in the snapshot inside NAA. So these are the three main features that I want to show you. First is backup, and then second is the detecting changes, and then the third is be able to do global searches. Now I want to show you some other very useful feature as well. Again, if anybody have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. So earlier I mentioned that you can take a snapshot. So where do I configure the device? What kind of snapshot I can perform? So when you first install NAA, you come into the devices, and then you can create your what we call is a device set. So for example, all of my Cisco IOS XE routers are put under here, and then you just put your IP address of the device here, and then specify what kind of OS it belongs to and how do you connect to it. Usually it's by SSH, or if you have Jumpbox, you can go through Jumpbox. The credential, and also what snapshot commands that you want to issue. And then the snapshot commands you can define. And the credentials, you can specify the credentials here. And then next would be the snapshot commands. Something needs some explanation. Now, like I say, you can do show run, show inventory, anything that you like. And then also, I see a question from David. Let me finish this part and I come back to the question. And also, the first box are the commands that you want to track changes. But then how about show ARP table and show IP routing table, things like that? You don't expect it to be stable. They changes every minute. Then you can put it under the second box, which doesn't track changes. But the reason is they are separate because now that you can do global searches, the global search will search both boxes, both output, so that you can search the ARP table as well and IP table as well. That's why we have two boxes here. Now, let me see the question. PKI access, we don't have that today, but that's something that we can add in the future. Right now, you SSH, and you can use the. Let me see. Actually, do I not have that? Device credential. Yeah, I'm correct. But Jumpbox, you can, if you have a Jumpbox, usually it's a Linux server, and you need to use cert, then you can do cert for Jumpbox. But for the device itself, you can't do that. I have another question from Keith. The question is, do you have an option to return from a JSON? Okay, API, okay. We don't have that API today. We have other API for updating device information. So if you have a device inventory, CMDB, and then you want to use API to update the new devices, modify the list of devices in NAA, there's an API for it. We are still developing more API. So we can certainly do that because we have these API structure layout. We just need to see what other API that people like, and we can add that as well down the road. Okay, I hope I answered the questions. And so that was specifying snapshot commands. So again, I just want to emphasize that it's not just configuration. The snapshot include any other information you want to do, as long as you can do it as long as you can show it on CLI, it will capture it as a snapshot. Perfect for getting inventory, serial number, license, any information you want. Okay, and then another thing is auto discovery. So a lot of times that, like, if you have an external CMDB, then you can use the API to update new devices. But if you don't, you can also do SNMP discovery. It's nothing new here, the concept. You specify the subnet, and then when do you want to do the discovery. And then the SNMP credential, specify here, SNMP version 2, version 3 as example. After you set it up here, and then when the discovery was done, then you will see the devices being discovered. And then when you do have to manually come in and pick the device, but you don't have to figure out what devices they are. You need to put the discovered devices into, right now I don't have any unassigned devices, but if I have any unassigned devices, they will show up here, and then you can assign it under the appropriate set of devices. So it will save you the time of finding out new devices, but you do have to come back and assign it yourself, unless you have a API. That's, you have an external Python or others inventory discovering tool, and then you can then use the API to update it. So this is an example of getting the devices information API. So here you see that these are the devices, the set name and the list of devices that belongs to the set. So once you have this JSON table, then you can have a update it from your script, and then you can call another API then to update the device list. So this is all can be done through API. All right, and then the next thing I want to show is the role base. So let's say you have multiple, you have the NOC, you have engineering, you have other people in a team. You want them to have different level of access. There are 3 level of access. If it's NOC, you want them to just look at the result, see what has changed. You can assign them under the level 1. They won't be able to make changes. They won't be able to change what snapshot command to issue. Then you have level 2 for engineering as an example. They can make changes, but they cannot do software upgrade to NAA as an example. And then you have the highest level 3 admin for the NAA. They can update changes, install licenses as an example. It also support LDAP users. So if you have AD group, you want to allow the entire team to have access to NAA, you can do it here as well. Now, maybe the last thing I want to show is, well, two more things. Scheduling is very self-explanatory. So just pick the hour, the minute, and the day that you want to do the snapshot. It will schedule it for you. And then the last thing is the vendor. So earlier I say it support any vendor. It's not only the one that listed here, but you can create new vendor, and then you can specify the information here, and then you can support the new vendor. So that's how you add new. So you can easily add Arista here. You can easily, so for example, so I can create a new one, say call it Arista AOS, and then you have a new OS, and then you do have to put in the description, the prompt detection here, and if there's any first command, I don't know what the Arista's first command would be to disable paging. So assuming it's like this, then this is what you create. Now you can include Arista in your devices. All right. So that's it. Once you set that up, after you add the devices, after you specify what kind of snapshot command and schedule it, then that's it. All you have to do is to let it run and then see what has changed and take advantage of that. I got one more question from JJ. Jumpbox support to auto discovery. Jumpbox for auto discovery. Let's see. We haven't thought of that yet, but it could be possible. I would imagine something we can look into as well. That's not in the role plan, but if that's something you're interested, let's talk and then see how it could be done. But another alternative is to use the API. That is another possibility. If you already, obviously, if you have something else that already doing the discovery. But going through a jump box is something that we can certainly talk about. All right, so let's see if there's anything else that I want to show. Oh, okay, yes. So this is our. Okay, I got a question from David. Any alert on misted snapshot? Any alerting on misted snapshot? I assume you mean that if normally it takes snapshot every day, and then it sends you an email notification on changes. And I assume if there's no changes, then it won't spam you email. It won't send you changes email. And I assume you mean if for some reason you cannot connect to a device and therefore missed a snapshot on a particular device because the device is not reachable for some outage reason or something. It doesn't tell you that it missed certain device. The only place that you will see is it will show up here. Right now, you see that it has the latest snapshot time. But if you don't see this along with all other devices, then it won't. That's how we usually tell that, hey, something is wrong. It has been, the last snapshot time has been days behind, and then that's something may be wrong with the device reachability. So I have another example. So as you see, if everybody is reachable, you will see everybody should have the same snapshot time. If you don't see that, then something could be wrong with the device. But as far as notifying people that a device is out of reach, it doesn't do that. And also, you can, in one page, you can also see when was the last time it detected changes as well. So let's see, maybe one more thing, maybe a little bit advanced, but let's say if, let me go back to the demo. Let's say you want to see not just the latest changes, but a change that happened last on Wednesday. You can jump to that, and then look, that was the last day snapshot, but that last let's say last Wednesday's changes, what was that? Then you can also see that that was what was changed last on Wednesday, not yesterday, but Wednesday. But then sometimes it's useful if you want to compare Wednesdays to today, then there's also a button to compare the latest. So that's comparing Wednesday against today's configuration. So I don't know if that you guys follow, but that's some option that you can do as well to help you see exactly what was changed between different days. All right. So this is the demo itself. The license, like I say earlier, if you want to download it, you can go ahead and download it and install it for free. There's no licensing involved. There's no sign up, no registration involved at all. So you can just use it. But if anybody is interested, they can email us and request more license. And right now, if you just download it, you can use it up to you can use it for 25 devices. But if you email us, we'll bump it up to 50 devices, still for free. But just for the next 7 days, if you're interested to have more than 50 devices, you can let us know, and then we'll bump it up to 100 devices for this next 7 days for free for the first year as well. So I just want to mention this promotion if you want to take advantage of that in the next 7 days. And then this is our website, ironwoodnetworks.com, and then you can download it. You can download it here and then follow the instruction, and then you can use it. If it's a very small footprint. And then there's a starter guide. If, like I say, we keep everything very, very simple. The chance is you don't even need to read this, but if you first time using it, it is very short document. It walks you through how to start and use it, how to set this up. And then the last thing I do want to mention is the bonus. So we would appreciate if you use it, and if you like it and you want to refer to other people, we would like to share the revenue with you for up to 5%. And all that you have to do, you don't have to be a sales or do anything. But if you email us the contact, then we will make sure that you get the profit sharing if they decided to purchase, obviously. But even if they don't, just let other people know. And if it's useful to you, it's probably useful to other network engineers as well. Appreciate that. Other than that, I'm open up for any other question. Too bad we don't have the audio on for you guys, but anybody have question, feel free to ask us. Thank you very much, David. And if no question, that's all I want to show. And again, hopefully go to our website. That's ironwoodnetworks.com. If you want to download it and get more information, or you can contact it through that as well. All right, great. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day.